Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Come on over here, take a seat, we can talk. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, I've put up 1,000 videos. I have shared, I think, everything that I know. I think I know. I don't know a damn thing about. And, you know, about all the stuff that I've done or I thought about doing. And it's funny because when you read some of the comments, some of the people say I'm full of BS. So I guess I got a lot that I talk about. I'm just talk. And so one way you can look at it is, you know, I guess I'm just full of talk. And then another way you can look at it is I got a lot to talk about. So I don't know. You can look at it different ways. But I say this all started after my wife had her last stroke. And it was really, really bad. And this was in '09. And she told me to, well, at that time, you know, before that, we were opposites. I would go places, do things. She's a homebody. She loves staying home. So she'd stay home and I'd go off to do all kinds of weird stuff. And I'd come back and I'd tell her some of the stuff that I learned and some of the stuff I did. And, you know, I don't know what she was thinking about. I guess she kind of thought maybe a little weird. I know one thing she thought was, she never, for one thing, you know, she's Guatemalan. And she's Chinese, all Chinese. She's from Guatemala. And born and raised here. And so, come across me, I'm half Chinese, half American. And so we had the Chinese culture that we shared. But she didn't know anything about Americans other than what she sees on TV. And she thought that was really, really weird when we got married because I saw things so much different than she did. And she knew I was in the Marines and I went to Vietnam, and you know, you hear stories about all that. So, and but it was, we had 41 years being married, and she could see I was unlike any American that she saw on TV. I'm sure nothing like any Chinaman she's ever seen or know about or heard about. And so I say, after her last stroke, she told me to start making videos and write books on stories about myself. And I thought it was funny because I couldn't go anywhere. I stayed here. She had her stroke in the United States, but the United States looks at things different, and so I didn't like the way they did things, and so we had to come down here to keep being under government control. You know by now, me and government control don't work out too well. And so when we came down here, I spent a lot of time with her, working with her, working on her, helping her get back going again. And like I say, during the time I wasn't, I was writing and making videos and stuff like that. And it's funny, the videos has evolved more and more. After I lost her, she was the one that did my proofreading and helped me write a lot. I say I'm not a good writer, so I really needed her to help me on that stuff. And but I say, so I've just been sharing the stuff that I've done, stuff that I've seen, some of the things I want to do, and just hard to believe I've done 1,000 videos. You know, that comes out to over 250 hours of videos. Now, not all of them are public. I got some that are unlisted, and I have some that are private. And the private ones are the ones that you're going to be seeing after I die. And I explain stuff that I'm thinking at the time. But you got to remember, I don't have anybody to talk to there. So I put it on video. What it is, this is what I see, this is what I think is going on, and this is what I'm going to do to prepare to counter this stuff. And some of the stuff turned out, some of the stuff didn't turn out. It was just false flags, just being misled, my misunderstanding of things. So it's kind of entertaining when you see it, because I went back and I've looked at some of them, and I saw, boy, I really thought this was going to happen at that particular time. This is what I was preparing for. This is what I was doing. And it didn't turn out that way. Something else turned out. You know, so, and it's funny because this has just been going on here just within the last, maybe 3 years. But when I think about it, it's been like that throughout my life. But like I say, I'm from, I wish I could say I'm from the old school and wish we prepared, but we really did. I say we've had Chinese restaurants when I was a young one, and so we always had food. Chinese believe having restaurants is good because you always have food. And so when you go to a foreign country, you start a business, the best thing to do is start a restaurant, so then you have something to eat, and then you can build your life on that. And so, matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why I went to the Marines. Is never been hungry and never been thirsty. I mean, life was, I can't say I was spoiled. I mean, I had a tough life because I was spoiled. I said we owned restaurants. Life was good for me, good to me. So, I mean, bad things happen, but I say when you're young, you just kind of go along with it. But like I say, what I've been doing is on the videos, I've been sharing some of the stuff that I've done. And I know many of you don't even think it's usable information on some of the stuff. But I'm sure as you've been watching, you pick up a little here, a little there that you never thought of, or something like that you can relate to, and you might be able to use some of this in some of your life's adventure. But I say it's funny because it's evolved so much. I say when I started, it was just putting out information. I never thought I was going to live this long. When it was really devastating when my wife was messed up like she was, And then, so that's why I was trying to get out information that people might be able to use. And then like I say, after she was killed, then that changed my attitude again. Remember I talk about attitude and attitude changing and stuff like that. So many things have changed my attitude throughout life. And when the attitude changes, my goals change. I look at life differently. And when you watch my videos, you can see how they change. Some of them are a little more personal than other things. And some of them is just, like I say, information. Hopefully you won't have to go through some of the stuff that I've gone through. And then if you do have to go through it, hopefully it'll better prepare you to go through it. Like I say, I lost my mom when I was 5 and my dad when I was 25. So a lot of the stuff that I learned was, on the job type training. I just have to think back on some of the stories my dad told me, and then like I say, as I get older, I can start relating to it. And it's the same thing I'm going through with my kids. I'd love to sit down and talk to them, and I get some understanding from my kids, but like I say, their lives are nothing like my life. And like I say, I didn't want them to have anything like my life. That's why we set it up like that. And I don't know. I'm still amazed. I didn't really work the computer too well. I had to learn to work the computer to write the books. I had to learn the computer to make the videos, and then like I say, I started having camera problems. So now I've gone to using cell phone or smartphone, and so I had to learn how to use all that stuff. Oh, I'll tell you, it's funny because you've caught me on the time of my life when I've been completely solo. I mean, I've been by myself. And I say, back to my video, I Am Perfect. It's been very, very difficult to do all this. And I think about, well, why am I even doing all this? And but like I say, I've had to evolve. I've had to do more, but it's just part of living. I know people that are, especially my age, that they refuse to get on the computer. They refuse to do all kinds of stuff like that. Well, you're right. They stop growing, and I see young people that, you have to have change. Yes, you have to have change, but all change is not for the benefit. Sometimes change is negative. And that's where I started coming up with 3-Man Militia and pushing. Now I push the 3-Man Militia because I can see this change, and it's like, we were told we're gonna give you change. Yeah, well, it'd been a lot easier if they would have said we're gonna run you through hell. I wish they would have told us that. I wish they would have told us we're gonna lie, we're gonna deceive, we're gonna push corruption to the limits. And then it would have made it a lot easier. I mean, I'm a little slow. I've got this thing where I trust, and then this trust turned to trust and verify, like Reagan said. And then when it comes to the political, so I don't talk too much on the political stuff, because like I say, it is so corrupt, so beyond, I can't even relate to what they do. I mean, morals has nothing to do with their actions at all. And I say, and I mentioned it, they are at war with us, we the people. And we the people can't figure this stuff out. And so I've had to think some more. Why is it that people give up their freedoms? Why do people give up their not taking personal responsibility?